are losing objective butter. We are losing objective butter.
Attrape tes munitions.
We have lost objective butter.
Des munitions. Prends-les.
20 attackers were.
Hi guys, it's DanMinigun. Finally streaming again because I can actually play.
Là, quelques munitions.
Shock operations on
We have lost objective
Priest of
apples.
the Horror. Don't say that.
Des munitions pour toi.
I usually
have
play
taken
frontline, but
objective butter.
there are no frontline servers at this time of day. Which is unfortunate, but shock operations are pretty nice. I like it a lot more than standard operations. And we won on the
You've
very
done
plain
well,
thing.
soldier.
Just get killed by a field gun, that's it.
Des munitions pour toi.
I usually play frontline, but... And I need to lower the game audio because it's way too loud. That should be... Oh, it's not over yet. Okay.
Des munitions pour toi.
Oh yeah, I forgot this is in front lines. Need to be a bit more careful with my approach. Since I'm not super familiar with shock operations. Well, not as much as frontline. Or maybe I've played this 5 times. Frontline I just lost count. And that's a trench hunter kit or whatever that thing is called. Trench raider, not trench hunter. That's a tank hunter. Don't think there are any tank hunters on this map. Oh, hello. Good luck at work. I'm just happy I have some time off now. It's worked enough. I should have seen that coming. Why is the chat flashing? I get that on occasion, it goes away, but it's
We have lost
really
objective
annoying.
apples.
Ugh. need to bayonet that guy. Well, the only support weapon with a bayonet is this.
Objective butter.
So let's take it.
Attendons sur ces munitions.
I would take something else, but there are no supports on this thing. Which means we won't have enough ammo. No! Oh. And that's a horrible start. Yes, the top net is from Hoffman. I'm not sure how you say that, I'm not German. He does some amazing work. Actually, did not. Took about 2 hours to do that.
Tiens, des munitions.
He uses Photoshop, Gary's mod and Source Filmmaker. I would like to try that sometime. I have used G mod a long time ago, but I've never done anything resembling that level of quality. I think those assets are lifted, well, not I think, those assets are actually the assets from BF1, but he makes them look like it's actually from BF1, which is impressive. Because the source engine, well, you could tell it's a source engine. You could tell it's a source engine, not Frostbite. I think it's in advanced. This is something I actually don't use a lot. I mean, it's fun to, the Burton. It's fun to use, but it's actually not that easy to use. Can't see anything. Somehow I hit half my shots there. That's the problem with this, even though it has horizontal recoil on the optical especially is not too bad, it's about the same as the bar, but since it fires quicker, it's more erratic, and more importantly, it does far less damage, so each horizontal recoil kick actually makes it more inconsistent than a bar. But if you use it right, it's a very powerful weapon. Hello, Lewis. And hello, Hoffman. Interesting name you've got there. Hoffman. Is it Hoffman or Hoffman? I think it's Hoffman. Be careful with the large Perosa there. Ah. Be much better off with the Hewitt. Oh, come on, really. Oh, thank you, Mr. Medic. Let me guess, Perosa guy is in the building. Need to take care of that guy, because he's going to rule my day again. No, 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 there he is. Oh, come on. How did he do that? It was like a mile away from inside. What? What? Hauptmann. Hauptmann? I need to gas that guy. Damn, he wasn't in there. Someone behind the... Oh. Ah, I got him anyway. I thought he was outside, that was my bad. I need the bayonet to counter the elite kits. It's the only reason I use the bayonet. What? I really don't like the Burton. Well, I like it, but it's too inconsistent. It doesn't help that the optical sight sucks. I would use a trench, but it just has too much horizontal recoil. Vertigo is not that bad on the Burton, although its first shot is quite high. I also think this gun should have been an assault weapon. Though a bit different, obviously. Man, I'm really reliant on smoke grenades. Oh, it was a tank. Just switch to medic now since there aren't enough.
Prends cette trousse de secours.
We are losing objective apples.
Careful of the land ship. Maybe if he walks over there, can shoot the mine and kill him.
Un char ennemi.
Maybe. Damn it. I overestimated it.
Char ennemi repéré. Une trousse de secours pour toi.
Half of the enemy forces are gone. Return to the combat area.
Tiens, une trousse de secours. J'ai repéré un éclaireur. Je suis presque à sec. T'es blessé? Je vais te soigner. T'es blessé? Je vais t'aider.
Oh,
Une trousse de
friendly
secours.
gas. Never understood why friendly gas has to blind you.
Sers-toi de cette trousse de secours. T'es blessé? Je vais te soigner. Attention, fumigène lancé.
I knew that was going to happen. Maybe Mr. Medic will
We are
save me.
losing objective butter.
On bouge.
A trench
Allez.
raider kit is available near your location.
And that's a very bad idea to do. Don't stop in the middle of... Even if you see a guy, don't stop in the middle of a crossfire just to shoot someone. Very bad idea. Someone's coming from the corner. Just a sniper. Someone else is coming.
Une trousse de secours.
Now I am
Il y a des
exposed.
We are losing objective apples. We
I'm
have
not going
lost
to revive
objective
him, he's
apples.
way too far.
Une trousse de secours pour toi. Je vais soigner ça. Fumigène lancé. Tirez-vous.
Thank you.
Tu veux que je te soigne?
What's that sound? What sound? I don't hear anything. Oh, they notification ping. Oh, that was just someone messaging me on Viber. I turned it off. No! Get up!
Losing objective butter.
Peux te soigner si tu veux.
And this just makes me wish that instead of scrapping 40-player operations, they should have just extracted, like for example, I don't know, what's it called? St. Quentin Scar as a single map, made it 40-player and just added to the rotation of shock operations. I don't know why they didn't do that. I appreciate the new maps, but why not just include the other ones as well? You already have them designed. Just need to make them single map. Just fine, I think. I mean, operations with 40 players is actually enjoyable. I know everyone has their own opinion, but I just don't enjoy 64-player operation because it's just a mess. Just attack planes everywhere, snipers everywhere, just too much chaos. I like controlled chaos, I don't like just chaos. Yeah, I don't think 64 players works with linear modes, that's the problem. Especially in BF1, well probably even in BF4 if that existed. No, it did exist, it was 64 player rush. With, you know, mortars, grenade spam, God forbid mortar trucks. Jesus, who thought that was a good idea? That's actually something I really like about Battlefield 5. There's a lot and a lot less explosive spam.
The Russians have taken our defensive stronghold. They must do anything to take it.
And the explosives in BF5 are actually much weaker. Especially the grenades. Though for some reason, they just came out and said impact grenades will be in the game. I don't know why we need impact grenades. No, you cannot make those rules, which is very unfortunate. I mean, I know ProCon has its issues. I mean, badmins were a thing. Hell, I was an admin and I actually got rid of some bad admins on our server. Because, well, people just look at the stats. They don't even bother to look at the player, they just look at the stats and ban. Sometimes they don't even do that. The stats are not accurate all of the time. You need to look at how they play and you need to understand the game. But the other problem with ProCon is it's not very clear. I actually think there are a lot of nice things about BF5. The only thing I don't like, well, weapon progression, attrition is pretty much fixed. I just saw the primary ammunition count now, they're similar to BF1. No problem with that. I didn't have any problem with the second alpha, with its ammo counts. Also, BF5's map design seems very, very good. It's like they actually designed the map this time. Not that BF1's maps are all awful, but unless you're playing them on front lines or this, I think shock operations works well for the most part. They can be quite annoying. I didn't hit, I think I'm using too high of a magnification. Really? Oh, for fuck's sake. That's what happens when I don't have a second monitor to look at the chat. I actually liked the snow map. I thought there was a nice variety of engagement distances. If anything, sometimes I was more annoyed by Rotterdam because for some reason, and this is a... for some reason they decided to give 4 times optics on sniper rifles, no glint, and on Rotterdam it's impossible to see them because of how dark the interiors are. That said, from the latest video, I think they actually fixed the darkness issue.
We have taken the sector.
Kopf auf die Beine.
From enemy presence.
Werfe Rauchgranate! Ich helfe dir!
I mean, sniper rifles need glint, and there's no debating that. If you're going to get one hit from a mile away, you need to telegraph that. Just frustrating. At least with shotguns you can hear them coming, even though I dislike their one-hit ability in general, but whatever.
Erste Hilfe, greif zu!
That's exposed.
Und? Wie lauten die Befehle? Feindliches Flugzeug gesichtet!
I think they're too busy sniping.
Hier, erste Hilfe.
No one's on the point. With the enemy team, I mean.
Hier, Mann, erste Hilfe.
Oh, someone's on the point now. Yep, there he is. Can't see where he is.
Soll ich deine Wunden versorgen?
There it was.
Erobert das Ziel. Hier, erste Hilfe. Rauchgranate ist draußen. Du bist verletzt, ich sehe mir das. Für dich, Kamerad. Erste Hilfe. Ich sehe mir die Wunde an.
We have taken the sector. Clear the sector.
Ich sehe mir die Wunde mal an. Galopp! Lieb alles! Und komm, alter Junge!
Come here, Mr. Sniper.
Galopp!
We have secured the sector.
Oh, come on. Don't get stuck, Mr. Horse. Let's clear the freaking snipers up here. Medics can be snipers too.
To the combat area.
Oh no, don't get stuck. Come on, sprint, please. Ugh. Not to deal with you. Very annoying. Are there any more?
Return to the combat area.
There's cavalry behind me. There's one. Are there any more? Come on, don't get stuck. Why DICE didn't add the jump button to the horses beyond me? Ooh, I see something nice.
A sentry kit is available near your location.
Stealer sentry kit. I think all the weapons were pretty good in BF5's beta.
Return to the combat
Though I'm not sure if that actually is reflective of the final game because of the upgrade system, which I absolutely hate. I mean, there's only one thing I hate about it, but it's a big thing. It's the fact that the upgrade system is just... Well, you know how people complained about progression in BF1? Well, basically, they made it a very grindy way just to get two variants. There's no reason to use the base weapon. An upgrade will always be better. If they might as well just have kept BF1 system, but with the ability to add scopes. Even a much better system.
Return to the combat area.
Oh wait. Time to clean out the house. I haven't done this in a long time. Oh no. Really?
We have taken a
Fucking cunts. The ZH-29, here's why people think it's overpowered, because it's a two-hit weapon, and when you have a two-hit weapon, it's easy to understand how to use it. In reality, the time to kill for that weapon is slower than pretty much all BF1's weapons. Of course. You don't even need to find the pulse, it's about 480 milliseconds time to kill, which is about the same, but slightly faster than the 1916 at close range, which is painfully slow. It's not overpowered. I mean, I would much sooner call the BF1 RC overpowered than the ZH-29. Even though I used to think that, but it's not that overpowered. It's actually quite clunky to use. Of course, BF5 has no visual recoil, so that helps usability. But that goes for any weapon.
We have taken the sector.
Also, I wish the game had sniper limits. I mean, I know limits are not fun, but so is having 70% of the team sniping. That's not fun. It had a fire rate upgrade. It's something I actually don't like at all. Well, why are we upgrading the fires and weapons? It adds a ton of inconsistency. Well, that's different, but depends how fast the fire rate is. don't like the system at all. I was quite surprised that Marble Duck liked it. I like it for a reason. Well, it's not to say I agree everything with his age, actually I don't. But still. But that being said, I rarely agree with anyone. On everything, I mean.
Feindlicher Sperr gesichtet.
Go away.
Erste Hilfe, greif zu, Mann! Ich flick dich zusammen.
Like, that's very useful, having two snipers in the same spot.
Ich versorg deine Wunden.
Where are they?
Erste Hilfe, nimm schon.
It's actually a fun map, but snipers really bog it down sometimes. That's why I want sniper limits. In fact, in BF4 I didn't even play on servers that didn't have sniper limits, or even more so back Company 2. That game, snipers were cancer.
Hier, Mann, Erste Hilfe. Mir die Wunde mal ansehen.
Throw another grenade.
Erste Hilfe, greif zu, Mann! Erste Hilfe, greif zu! Feindliches Objekt gesichtet!
Take care of the flamethrower. Well, actually, those guys. What, we won already? Cool.
Run!
Didn't play that well, but I guess the round ended quickly, so there's that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the problem. Honestly, I think it's the community's fault, because the community is always complaining about progression. Now, I get that people like progression in video games, but come on, this is a first-person shooter online. Why do we need to grind so much just to use a weapon? It's so annoying. I even dislike BF1 system, even though it's the least annoying one in the whole series. I don't want to grind. Here's the thing. Experienced players are already better. Why do new players need to have a flat-out inferior weapon? It's just stupid. It's unfair to those players, and even more so if you actually care about your statistics and how you're playing. You always have at the back of your mind the idea that, am I better or just as my gun is better? Of course, having a better gun isn't really the whole skill pillar to Battlefield, but still, it's a bad problem. But that's not the point. Why not just have the gun perform well? This reminds me of BF4, where I had to get 10 kills with each weapon just to get something without visual recoil. Just absurd. It's not much, but why? It's unnecessary. I mean, if you want to play an RPG, play an RPG. It's just too extreme. Progression should be like, okay, maybe unlocking weapons, I don't like it, but I can live with it. But unlocking so many attachments or upgrades is so annoying. Visual customization, that's something I love about BF5. Actually, that's something I've always wanted, especially for weapons. But a good form of progression would be give us proper stat tracking, like stats per game mode, stats which are actually in game. Give us game reports like we had with Battlelog, but better. I mean, Battlelog wasn't perfect, it has a lot of issues, but it was much better than what BF1 had. And what BF5 will would likely have. It's the point. It's the point of it. It's why design a system where the base gun becomes obsolete. It creates a gets richer situation, which is pretty dumb. And it's weird because BF1 avoided this issue completely. If you want, I mean, look, I'm using the Cherry God Effector, the first weapon in the game. It has it has a lot of advantages. Basically, with BF5, what we have is the base weapon, and then 2 skill trees. Each skill tree pretty much becomes a variant. Like if you take the smaller capacity variant skill tree, you have a high DPS, low mag variant, kind of like the autoloading 35. It's not a good system in my opinion. It actually goes counter, and it also doesn't really satisfy people who want attachments. But that's actually quite funny. I mean, attachments could work. I don't think they're necessary, except for scopes. But I do understand the appeal of just playing around with your gun, even just to see. Oh look, I'm attaching a vertical grip. In fact, I was surprised that so many people were upset by fast bullets. Well, who cares if it's called fast bullets or high velocity rounds or whatever? Who cares? Apparently a lot of people do, but whatever. It's a brainless system. I mean, rank up, upgrade with skill tree you want. The skill tree system is okay. I like the skill tree system. The problem is that the base weapon becomes obsolete. What we should have had is a 3 skill system. Three skill system where you have a default skill tree unlocked from the get-go, and then you can mix and match between the 3. Don't make the base gun just obsolete. That would be the easiest way to change it without completely changing the frame rate. Frame rate.
Sturmsoldat! Du bist verletzt. Ich kann dir helfen. Erste
Bad
Hilfe.
idea.
Komm schon.
And what makes me sad is that even well-meaning designers like Drunksy, they flat out say like weapons like this will only get better with upgrades. Why? Why just not have the gun perform it optimally from the get-go? I mean, you need to unlock the gun. It's not like there's no progression. It's so dumb. And that's why I blame the community, because they always complain about not enough progression. It's as if the most important thing ever. Progression. Forget that we're playing an FPS. Let's take out the dildos. To fly below that. Oh no. Where is the dildo? Oh. Damn it. Nope. Nope.
Return to the combat area.
Okay. Do you want a milkshake? I want a milkshake. I do that actually, waiting for the bus and getting a milkshake. Or they can make 3 weapon variants with 2 upgrades. What? How do you mean? Just BF system with upgrades? But that doesn't solve the issue. Just unlocking stuff. They're upgrades, they're not side grades. They're not like, I don't know, the heavy barrel and get more recoil. Unfortunately, the community confuses that with... They don't realize that skill tree and an attachment, there is no difference. They're just UI elements. The problem, a skill tree can have, like if you choose, I don't know, let's go with fast bullets again. If you choose fast bullets, maybe you get more recoil. You could have that, But no, they're upgrades. They literally say it, they're upgrades.
We are losing objective apples.
I mean, in the long term, it doesn't really matter. But why have a badly designed system from the get-go? Why have a rich richer? I mean, a rich richer get situation, and I like to say this because for some reason people get triggered when you mention this. It's something I expect from Call of Duty. It's actually in Call of Duty where you get upgrades and the base gun becomes obsolete. And I think it's not even as bad as BF5. And where are the enemies? I can't see a single enemy. They're all in boats and crap. What's that? Oh, you shoot that. Auto-loading optical. What I would like personally, just keep BF1's system, but let us change the optics, that's all I want. We don't, gameplay wise, we don't need anything more than that. We already have visual customization, we can make our gun look fancy and what have you. I mean, let's be realistic, even in BF4 there are only like 1 or 2 attachment combos which are actually relevant. Yes, you could play around with bad weapons, which is fun and I used to do that, but that's it. It just adds randomness, well not randomness, just unnecessary fluff. I mean, BF4's attachment system is horrible. It looks fun, it's fun to play around with, but gameplay wise it adds a lot of stupidity. Oh god, this map is annoying on this mode. I don't know what I'm doing.
We are losing objective apples.
Do I have? Maybe let's take the Benamer shape. Oh, actually, nah. It's going to take the MG917 to take out the planes, since there's nothing else to shoot at. I want to play freshness. This map is actually nice and rush.
Frische Munition.
Naughty planes. I almost got it.
Hier, ich habe ein bisschen Munition übrig.
So many planes and nothing to shoot at.
Hier, Munition. Feindlicher Soldat gesichtet. Vorsicht, er wird out. Ich habe 6 Kontakt an feindlichen Soldaten.
This map would be great on frontline as well. Oh, that explains. Look at they have like 4 pilots and a bunch of. No, actually, they don't have that many snipers. It's red.
Hat jemand Munition bestellt?
Oh, they're all here now, finally.
Aufpassen, feindlicher Speer gesichtet.
We are losing objective
Mehr Munition.
apples.
And that is a fun weapon as well. It's not as responsive as the hill, but it's better at long range. Very long range, actually, because the hill is quite good at range as well.
Objective apples.
It's also very fun, visually and audio-wise.
Braucht jemand Munition? Da vorne ein Terminator.
Nice to get headshots, bro. I'm giving a present. No! I messed it up. Oh, never mind. That was funny.
Hier, Munition.
Hello, Jumpy. One.
Da drüben, feindlicher Speer.
What a fun weapon this. Uh-oh.
Feindlicher Flammenschütze.
No, jump, 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 jump. That was terrifying. Oh no, no, they're... Time to bail. The flamethrower. Yeah, it's not going to cook me underwater, hopefully.
We are losing objective butter.
Is there a ladder here? Yeah, there is. Hello, Ahmed. I am finally streaming like you wanted. Actually, oh no, you're a different Ahmed. I'm sorry. Actually, you're not the... I just got confused. I'm just too focused on dealing with the flamethrower guy. Maybe they're going to jump down behind me.
We are losing.
Oh, actually, I have gas on me. I usually take smoke. Let's give them a present then.
20 attackers remain.
Quite the kick though. Unlike the Hewitt. Horizontal is actually slightly better than the Hewitt, than the telescopic.
We have lost objective.
But the vertical is much higher. Oh, you are him. Interesting. Head glitching in BF1. Nah, it's not there. Can't even shoot out of the bunkers in what's it called? Ballroom Blitz. Because of the head glitching fix. And which is way too strong. No, that's not a normal player. Well, it was not, and that's normal player. Got the nice kill streak at the end. So they actually came and attacked. Benet Mercé, I would highly recommend it. If you like the MG 1917's bullet velocity, well, more accurately it's drag, which is very low, but you want something that's actually usable off the bipod, the Benet Mercé has you covered, especially the telescopic. Apologies. I could use the MG 1917 though. I don't use it a lot, but it's great at killing planes. It's awful at everything else. I don't like it at all. Hard for aviation.
Hier ist Munition.
We are losing objective butter.
Verteidigt das Ziel. Feindliches Flugzeug gesichtet.
We can kill the pilot. Maybe not. Oh, this I got to
We have
disable.
lost objective butter.
Now to finish off this silly pilot to try to kill me. Oh, we're not going to see him from here. Oh well. Oh, flying dildo is back. We actually killed it with the bird and incendiary. That takes quite a while. What guns did they use in BF5?
We have taken objective butter.
I used the Bren a lot and the Sten. Bren and Sten. Those were my favorites. I enjoyed all the weapons. Oh yeah, and the Turner SMLE, I love that thing. It's like a chair gun. Those were my favorites. The STG is fun, but it's just one of those weapons that's good at most things, but it's not. When a weapon is good at most things but doesn't excel at anything, it's not my favorite. It's similar to the Ribeiros, but in BF1's case, the Ribeiro is actually quite unique. But I actually don't use it that much. It's the only real assault rifle in the game, in terms of balance. Fedorov is close, but I don't think it fulfills the goal as well because of its very low rate of fire. Oh dear, that's a lot of guns. Maybe I should take the Hewitt now, but well, change is good. I like the Bentley Mercy as well. Just doesn't have the responsiveness of the Hewitt or the hipfire. Or even actually it does kill 1 frame slower than the Hewitt. Can make a difference, especially in close quarters. Nope. No! Thank God. No, not thank God, thank Hewitt. The Benet Mercier is part of the spreadless Church of Hewitt. It's a very accurate and underrated weapon. Oh, wow. I was lucky. Time to bail. Maybe. Oh, nice. Well, if you don't like it, that's fine, but you can't really deny that BF1's gunplay is more skillful than the other games just because you actually have to think about what you're using. Nope! Like, I'm using the weapon right now that's not really geared for close range, but I can still do it because I know how it works. Nope, 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 nope. Nope! Haha! I did 1 damage to your bolt. That's probably a good thing. I'm actually a bit concerned about BF5's headshot multiplier. Not because it takes it through skill, but I noticed this in BF4 as well. The fact that there's a random player will spray bullets at you and it would just kill you because it hits you in the face. I know the other players will just go for the head. But I suspect that, especially with automatic weapons, that will happen quite often. But that's just my opinion. I need to play the game. Probably not as big of an issue just because fire rates in general are much lower than BF3 and 4. It's good. I'm actually quite sad that we don't have like modding tools or map editors for BF1. I would love to make content for this. I would be willing to learn the tools and use it. Because not only, I mean, BF1 is just a few steps away from being a completely incredible game. Like, take out the mortar trucks, perhaps make the movement a bit more like
We are
BF5.
losing objective apples.
And that's not objectively better, but I do agree that BF3 and BF5's movement is a bit more fun. So maybe fix some issues with the map design. Oh, there are not many major issues. Make more frontline maps. Reduce grenade spam. Reduce god-awful melee aimbot. Add more weapons. There are a lot of weapons that they have never added. I don't want this game just to die. Even just for the aesthetics alone. And how often do you see a World War I game, much less a AAA one? BF1 just after a few tweaks it would be near perfect. I mean, I'm excited for BF5, but disposability of games is something I've talked about. I mean, it would be much better just to give modding tools and proper support to a game, so people actually still buy a game just for the mods. Like actually a few years ago, I bought BF2 on Steam again just to play the AIX 2.0 single player mod. I didn't even touch the game, I just bought it for that. Companies like Bethesda know this, but EA, well, EA are very financially conservative. That's a problem. They're not forward thinking at all. I hate saying that, but that's the reality of it. I mean, okay, sure, came up. Oh, there's some BF3 no shard vibes. Though you could only get on that with the parachute. Nope. There's a snipper. I don't like snippers. Maybe I can get him from here. Yes, that's because what's it called? Oh yeah, BF5 has pretty much no visual recoil, so it's much more consistent and easier to go for the head. And also the hitboxes they're actually easier to hit than BF1 because they're a bit larger. But more importantly than that, they actually don't move. They're always the same, which is very nice. I like that. Like, there's a lot of attention to detail like that in BF5, which is why I'm excited for the game. Regarding mods, they're not money killers. Because people would buy the latest game anyway. And if you have mod support, people would buy the older games. It's as simple as that. I mean, Bethesda have proven this. They're like the best company when it comes to game longevity. Well, the best AAA company, I might add. You can have both. But truth be told, I believe BF1 and the current state of the Frostbite engine is not very compatible with mods. Not because what they said at the Runeback company 2 days, it's too complicated to understand, that's just bullshit. It's because, what's it called? The engine is not that modular. It's unfortunate. But that could change if they wanted to, like they're doing the Doom Eternal. I mean, Doom 2016's engine was not geared for modding, but now they're actually focusing on it, which is nice. Why would you buy the DLC map? Because it's an official map pack, and also, this is very often, mods usually use assets from DLC. In fact, there are many mods, like in Fallout, that you actually require the DLC to play them. This goes for BF2 as well. And let's face it, usually DLC is official, so you have it in rotation, especially if it's free like BF5. And more importantly, it's usually of a higher standard and higher quality. Not always, but usually. I won't get my hopes up for World War III. I'm not saying it will be a bad game, but The history of that developer is quite shaky. A lot of their games are actually quite glitchy. You're not, let's face it, you're not going to get the smoothness from what you expect from a veteran developer like DICE. Hopefully I'm wrong. I want World War 3 to be very good. Battlefield needs some competition. It doesn't have any. Only CODs financially, but that's it. We need actual legitimate competition in terms of gameplay. It's like a disease. I play it because I like the there's not many games replicated. BF5 is in a cozy spot between being a completely arcade game and having some authentic elements. But it favors arcade much more, which is great because many games nowadays like Insurgency, Red Orchestra, Arma, although you could call it a miniature sim rather than a game, they are all obsessed over realism, and I really hate that. I miss games, especially the multiplayer series, where they're just fun to play. They're just very focused on game elements. They don't bother with realism. Look, to be honest, after I saw the beta and the game is coming out in like 2 weeks, it's not very encouraging. I hate saying it, but that's just reality. People jumping, oh, World War 3 is going to be the best thing ever just because it looks like BF4. Why not just play BF4? Okay, I know why, because the game is not supported anymore, but it's more than playable. If you want to play BF4, hell, people still play it. There are like about 10, even 20k players online, because it's a great game. It's a different game to BF1. And the things in BF1 I actually prefer over BF4 almost in every way, except for server support. And some smaller things like visual recall, but that's actually not that small, but still. And also, hello, Lucas.
Find no purpose.
Oh, it's the sum. I like the sum on this mode. It's really nice on Rush. How we don't have this on Frontlines is just criminal. I mean, it's perfect for it, especially if you remove the first part. The Hewitt. The Pimple. Ugh, I don't like this skin anymore. Yeah, the big problem with people lately, well, not lately, perhaps it's the internet that makes it more obvious, but they judge a game before it even comes out, even like BF5. Let the game come out, then judge it. I'm not saying you shouldn't criticize elements that are at the beta, like attrition for example, but give a game the chance. Same goes for World War 3, don't assume it's going to be a masterpiece just because you don't like what BF5 is doing. Oh dear, it was horrible. Bloody hell, it was terrible. I'm going to join you after I finish my lunch. Good. Good. More of the story here, don't just drive like a madman into the uncap zone. How did I die instantly to that? It's annoying. Thank you, Mr. Medic. Go away. Nope. try and get on the objective. Well, it's a good idea to clear everywhere first. There are snipers on the hill.
Ammo! Pick it up!
Oh, I got it.
We have taken objective apples.
Yeah, I hope not. To be honest, the whole political agenda's way too over-exaggerated. It's like we forgot we're actually playing a video game. There are female soldiers, so what? Who cares? Apparently a lot of people do, but I'm sure in time, if the game is very good, people would buy it anyway. Yeah, Ahmed, that's pretty much why I don't like realistic games. I would argue that the gunplay takes very little skill in something like Red Orchestra, because everything one hits. Where's the ability to stay on target? Of course there are other skill elements to that game, but I don't know, that just rubs me the wrong way. And there are way too many games like that. And World War III is not one of those games, which is cool. But I think they're biting off too much more than they could chew. Hopefully I'm wrong. I want all games to be better, even though many people don't agree on that because we're tribalistic fanboys, but whatever.
We have taken the sector.
And that's why, regarding the political agenda, well, there's something called, I forgot what the term is called, but I remember Forgotten Weapons talked about it with YouTube censorship policies. Basically, all they're doing is to appease their investors. Their investors see the word, oh, inclusive and diverse, and they accept it. That's all money. You really think that the EA have a political agenda? All they see is cash, is their cash cow. That's why I think the argument is not very fair for the developer, or even the publisher, even though I don't really like defending EA, because all of their actions are indefensible. Hi Dan, what do you do in real life? Well, recently, and I'm very happy about this, I've graduated from my master's in oceanography, and hopefully within the next month I will be employed as an environmental impact assessor, or something similar. That's why I'm playing now, because I actually have a life now. I don't have to make a bunch of working on the thesis all day. So I'm quite happy about that. And also, hello, Big Strawberry. I'm not sure I've ever seen you on the stream before. Do you have another name? Maybe I know. Also, I'm a Hewitt Grand Priest in real life, preaching the word of the Spreadless Church of Hewitt. Actually do, because I talk a lot about it in my circle of friends, as we all like Battlefield 1.
The final objective is within our reach.
We're a bunch of nerds. I like that. Normal people are boring. Yes, I'm 23 years old.
We have taken objective.
Holy hell, that was accurate. Very nice. The 1906 too. One of my favorites. Yeah, but I'm not excusing, I'm just stating the reason, because people are fixating on this whole DICE as a political agenda. They don't. They're just fulfilling a financial checkbot. If you really want to argument about excessive political correctness, go to the source. Go to the societal implications. And for heaven's sake, don't just assume that it's a left or right thing. It's nothing of the sort. The right are capable of being censorship assholes as much as the left is. It's not a partisan issue, it's a everything issue. As an example of what I'm talking about, if you come to Malta for example, it's the right who censor everything, not the left. It has nothing to do with that. So you just have to look at things from a global, well, bigger picture, this better word. Not just all these developers have a political agenda. They don't have a political agenda. They want to make sure that their investors are happy. Maybe some do. Maybe some do. They're people after all. But that's not what this is about. It's my name on YouTube, trying to figure out where... No, I'm from Malta actually. Not a very common place to find streamers because it has a population of around 450k, and that's it. It's in the EU as well. Even though geographically I would say it makes part of Africa. Actually, technically, geographically, the word is actually geologically. It's actually part of Europe. Oh no, I messed up. Sorry. Oh, actually, I didn't lose very much. I thought I was going to die. I should have run away. Hello, Fox Game. I think we do have some Russian viewers sometimes. I think when Zaloni is one.
We are losing objective.
I'm sorry, I don't speak it. I like the language, but I don't speak it. I like it because I like Stalker a lot. But Stalker should have Chernobyl. I think it sounds cool.
We have lost objective apples.
Enemy medic sighted.
It's hammer time. Thank you. Oh, not this gun. I hate this gun. At least it's a factory. I like the factory version at least. A bit. Not that much, but it's a bit better. Ish. I just like the faster fire rate.
We have taken objective.
Well, faster practical fire rate. Fire rate is actually the same. Oh, and it has the buckthorn on it. Look at it. It's so horrible. Dan is an...
We have lost objective.
Well, geologically speaking, yeah, politically no. I prefer to... this is very snobby for me to say. I prefer to think of myself as a citizen of the world. I'm not really into... In fact, there's something I really despise is nationalism, because nationalism, just like religion, is a great way to not allow you to think about things objectively. But I'm not going to go into detail because I probably just insult some of your opinions. But that's just me, I just don't apologize for my opinions, so sorry. Dan didn't hear that. From where? I am from the Maltese Islands, or the Republic of Malta, we'll call it that. It's 90 kilometers off the coast of Sicily, 365 kilometers, well, actually 316 kilometers squared in size, so it's not very big. About 15 kilometers long, I think. 3 main islands, well, 2 main islands, one of which is uninhabited. I like it here. My biggest problem we have in this country is our obsession with cars in a tiny country, which practically means we're completely automobile dependent, and it pisses me off. Because there's really no need for it, and it causes a lot of problems. But I talk a lot, don't I? I'm from Egypt, to be honest. No, I'm not. You're from Egypt. To where some play... what? Imagine playing against... I just play Frontlines. I play with Scanic. Well, I never really found... I only played with them on CD. And Nickel. I play with... They play Frontlines fairly often. I haven't seen them in a while, to be honest. But I do play with them. Usually against them because I like the challenge. Because I like to balance the game. Because usually if they are Scanic and Nickel on the same team, we're going to lose usually. Oh, we're going to win, so I just switch team, especially if I'm with other clan members. We have a lot of very good players in our clan. If you want, you can join it. I'll send you a link It's called F4PG. Holy hell, I'm actually doing not bad with this weapon. It's not a bad weapon, I just don't find it all that useful. Like there, it's so slow and painful. Could have killed him with any other melee weapon. And it's cool, I actually have a friend from Egypt. I haven't spoken with him in a while. This is the X Factor. No, the X Factor would be the marksman. That 2-tap, man. God, X Factor. When this game launched. I mean, I don't like ranting on YouTubers all that much because it's their opinion. But Jesus Christ, when you're a mainstream YouTuber on Battlefield specifically, could you at least get your facts right? How do you think that the 1916 is a 2-shot weapon? Just no, please no. Just cringe, makes me cringe. F4PG is a noob clan, that's why you're in it. I'd say we're pretty good overall. Can you play with the please no. Okay, I will, but it's literally my least favorite LMG in the game. It's the only LMG I find not very useful. I only find it useful like in the Monte Grappa bunkers. And that's it. Just so inconsistent. But I will use it. Not this oppressive though, because that makes me... Oh, got reset lighting. That makes my head hurt. Friedrich. Royal Ribbon of the Stag. Is it PR? I don't really care about ribbons. Look, actually, I think I turned them off. I'm not sure though. Hopefully once I could start working, I have a second monitor and a better microphone. Because my microphone is a clip-on one, which, while the audio quality is quite decent, it's very annoying because I have to literally wear it on a shirt or something, and it's not very consistent.
Soldiers, these are the...
Played against Nico one time in front. Yeah, he's very good. He's a very good player. But you learn by playing against good players, not bad players. Parabellum is just the worst SMG8. You know what? I actually agree on that. Because it's not very useful. Okay, let's use it. And I'll demonstrate why I don't like it. Let's make it blue, like a Smurf. Oh, that's a nice skin though. Yeah, definitely 1 times on this weapon, because it will make my brain melt. And this will be a terrible map to play it on. But I can play well with it, but it's very inconsistent. It's fun, don't get me wrong, it's fun to fire. But let me demonstrate quickly why I don't like it. That is why I don't like it. The horizontal recoil is too high. To control it you have to fire it very slowly like this. And then why not just use the helmet or even the LMG over it? And that's another guy I don't like using. I'm sorry if I insulted you, but I just don't like the Parabellum. Simple as that. I can do well with it, but it's inconsistent. Like even on the bipod it's not that accurate. But at least on the bipod you can tap it quickly because no spread. Also overhit very quickly. Bloody flamingos, horsey. I don't... What? Hello, Zops. I'm very well now that I can actually play the game. That's a very healthy mentality to have. See if we can... Is that a dynamite? It's not a dynamite. Stay up there. You dead, you bastard! Just love voiceover for the British. Where's everyone? Hello, Solid. It's quite good if they're up in your face. But you'll be surprised how many times I actually... Well, that was lucky. You deserve how much I actually beat the Parabellum in hipfire with the Hewitt just because the Hewitt just has so much better hipfire.
Enemy medical!
We are losing objective butter.
Oh, lovely. The sniper of doom, just flashlight of doom. People are coming up here. I really like the dangly chain. Dangly bits on the Parabellum. Oh, balls! Got a present for you. No, get up!
Objective butter.
You thought you could sneak up on you, but you cannot. Because I am empowered by Hewitt. Uh-oh.
We have taken objective.
What games are you still playing? Right now, actually, not that much because I just play Doom from time to time and Battlefield 1. Oh yeah, I'm playing a mod for Age of Empires 2 with a friend sometimes called Wars of Liberty. Uh-oh, snipers. Oh dear, they have like 10 snipers. They're dead.
Line creeper, one of these!
I've got my HE mortar.
Looking out, plane!
Someone's behind me?
There! Ammunition! Enemy plane up there!
Some guns are good, but not fun to shoot for some reason, and some guns...
There's ammo!
What I'm about to say is probably heresy, but the Hewitt, for example, doesn't have very fun sound effect, even though I love the gun. Like, if the Benet Mercier had the Hewitt stats, I actually would have preferred that, even though the Hewitt looks really cool. I wish it had a more punchy sound effect. It doesn't sound very punchy. The Parabellum, on the other hand, is the opposite. It's not a very practical weapon. I don't like using it very much, but it's very fun to shoot. Like there I missed like all my shots even though I'm bursting. On a bipod now. Oh no, I'm dead. Need to move. Oh well. If you have any other weapons I would like to use, you would like me to use, I will use them. And hello Lucas, I will join your squad. Or just come to Charlie squad. Man, this map was on Frontlines, but they never released it. I don't know why, because it's great on Frontlines. Frontlines is honestly the best game mode in the open one. At least I think so. If I can help the cockpit. Oh dear. Oh well, he missed. Oh hello. Mr. Parachute.
It's an enemy medic!
Oh, I hit the console button. Such an inconsistent weapon. The Burton. How about Quake? I actually played Quake Live, not Quake Live, Quake Champions, and I quite like it, but it's not finished yet. I also played a remake version of Quake 2 single player, which I actually enjoyed. The Burton, my second least favorite LMG, but I like it a lot more. Will there be any skill cannon like... Yes, there will be actually. There's already the ZH-29, there's the RSC, and there's the Model 8 confirmed for the Scout at least. Hopefully the upgrade system doesn't turn them into boring weapons, but I guess that's the price you have to pay for having progression. Ugh. I really hate progression. If it were to me, I wouldn't even have weapon on this, but I can live with those at least.
Objective objective apples.
And this is why we need sniper limits. Look at how many of them are sniping. The game is just, ironically, appropriate to World War One. I think it's stalemate. There's nothing going on.
That ammo's for you.
Oh god, and I remember the outrage that, oh my god, Battlefield 1 has too many automatic weapons. Because having everything bolt action would make this situation so much better. That would be so much fun. And that's actually a myth. In fact, if you look at LMG usage, particularly by the end of 1917, you actually see more LMGs per person, especially in the British Army, than you see in World War II. Of course, SMGs are not as common, but they were in 1918, at least the automatic or machine pistol and the MP18. But still, LMGs were very common. In fact, the only LMGs which are pretty rare in Battlefield 1 in real life is the Hewitt, because it's a prototype but very few were actually used, like 10 or so on the front. And the Burton, which was never used at all.
50 attackers remain.
Time to move. This is not the rush. I mainly play shotguns. That when I actually don't play shotguns a lot. Except actually the 1912 slug, I love that, and the 12G automatic I love as well. Yeah, I'm actually quite disappointed with that, but they could have added like. I mean, what's weird is that. They could have just added weapons they already have in game. They have the Schwagern in game, but they didn't add it. I don't understand why they did this. They have like 24 vehicles. Those are much harder to make than weapons. I don't know why they made such a short weapon list on launch. I myself am not too bothered because I like quality over quantity, and still more guns than we had with BF1 barely. And I was quite happy with BF1's launch weapons because they're varied, with the exception of SMGs, because 3 SMGs was just not enough, and in BF5's case there are only 3 SMGs and also 3 Scout semi-autos, which is pretty disappointing. Also, Scout semi-autos are very different to the Assault semi-autos. Do you play the Horn-like games with Horn-like? No, actually I never played those types of games. I don't play all of indie games, to be honest. I mostly stick with first-person shooters, real-time strategy. That's mostly it. Sometimes I dabble with the odd city builder, but I haven't done that in a long time. I used to play racing games a lot, but I don't anymore. Mostly because I'm sick of the car problem in real life where I live, so to the point I actually lost interest in my car hobby in the first place. Well, that's a long and boring story. Hello, Mr. Horse. Oh, you're translating. That must be annoying. Oh, I actually don't play roguelike games. I never played one. I'm not sure if I like them or not. I just never have. I play Battlefield a lot, so I don't have a ton of time to play a lot of other games. He's lucky. Hello, Mr. Sniper.
Enemy machine gun.
Oh, that was cool. That was very nice. That guy must be very sad right now.
Return to the combat area.
Save Mr. Lucas. Oh no, he's not inside.
Mind the wind. Good. Giddy up. Hop on. Run. Enemy cavalry! You see it?
Let's chase down the cavalryman.
We are losing objective apples.